And then you went to 343.
Yeah. So I went to 343. Was
and
like,
you're like, we're gonna put zombies in Halo.
Yeah, I have an idea for a mode. Take the flood. We were joking about that a lot.
This idea just followed you at every job you ever had after that.
Just do zombies again.
Yeah,
Zombie
just do
guy.
zombies.
Well, you say that, but what ended up happening at 343, you know, I'm cutting out a lot of stuff, but because I had worked on Call of Duty, they expected make it like Call of Duty type design, right? And I was like, no, I came to work on Halo.
Right.
Like, you don't understand. I want to make Halo even more Halo-y. I don't want to put aim down sights in the game. I don't want to, you know, there's all these like design implications and problems that go along with that. And they were like, what? You know, you know, so yeah, all the arguments about armor abilities and, you know, sort of perks. Do we add perks and kill streaks and, you know.
So when you came in, were they just starting a Halo 4?
Oh, so when I came in, so I was the first designer hired outside of Microsoft, and I was working with Ryan Payton.
So this is very early. Got it.
And when I was first there, I think there was like they had like there was some like Peter Jackson type involvement, and they had a version of Halo working in Unreal, not like a full version, but they had like, look, we got the sticky grenade working, you know, and that kind of thing, which was pretty cool. But they were just spread too thin. They were working on another engine team that was internally, I think it was called Midnight, and that ended up being the internal name of Halo 4 as we worked through it. And they just sort of took everyone working on Halo and merged them together and said, okay, we're just gonna, and that Unreal game was a third-person game, and it was gonna be very story-driven. And they said, you know what, let's just make a shooter. Let's just make let's just get the band together. Let's figure out how to make a Halo game at all, right? Because nobody had any experience doing that. So that was another kind of like, you know, there's just sort of, you know, it's like you always hear about creative differences. This was like creative differences, right? It's like Halo 4 is like you're trying to build a studio, you're trying to identify what the culture is going to be and establish that culture. The campaign team was like very like close knit, and we're still really good friends. But we were kind of seen as like this like cliquey group, you know. So there's some internal politics there and stuff. In fact, when the Halo 4 stuff happened, when they said it was going to be a shooter, like I didn't sign on for a shooter. I signed on for this third-person game, and within a few months, it's like it's a shooter, and I'm like, well, okay,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
shooter,
sure,
great.
Makes my life easier. Yeah.
But yeah, so like there were those kind of like Halo-y creative differences, and what are we going to do with Halo 5, and what kind of game is that going to be, and when it's funny because when I look at Halo 5. Or, you know, kind of what ended up happening. I understand why they made those decisions. It's all about like, universe expansion and new characters and stuff. But kind of what you're seeing with the Halo Infinite stuff is more in line with like what our original vision was for like what Halo 5 was supposed to be. So I'm actually pretty excited for it because I think like if they can pull it off and get that more classic vibe and like gameplay and stuff, I think that's going to be really good.